welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to El Clasico. We're on Sunday, live from the Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid and Barcelona will do battle, and this one, it is set up absolutely perfectly. Because although this may be only round 9 in La Liga, it already feels season-defining. This already feels significant, especially when you are looking at Xavi and Barca. Today, we are going to be going through the game in its entirety, looking at the expected lineups from both teams, looking at what's been said ahead of this one, and I'm also going to be giving my big match prediction. The stakes are high. The pressure, it is on. But that's how this game should feel. This is what it should feel like in a Clasico. So without further ado, the build-up starts here. This really matters. So let's do it. Because indeed, guys, on the biggest occasion in all of club football, today's video is coming to you courtesy of the OneFootball app, which is your place to stay fully in the know on all things Barca, Real Madrid, La Liga, and football in general. And don't forget that if you are in the UK, you can stay up to date right there on all the La Liga highlights as they happen after the games there, soaking up all of the action. And I do feel like in this one, there is going to be plenty to catch up on, plenty of decisive moments. So if you do want to get involved there and download the app, you can do using the link in the description. Big thank you to your support and indeed to OneFootball, because kickoff on Sunday, live from the Bernabeu, comes there at prime time on Sunday afternoon, 4:15 p.m. local time. And here, guys, are the times right around the world, wherever you are, wherever you're going to be enjoying this occasion. You don't want to miss it. Whether you're sitting down on your sofa, whether you're pacing nervously around your living room, you will want to experience the emotion and the feeling that this game always brings. Because when you are looking at the La Liga table, you cannot separate the two teams at the top. And this, guys, this is how a Clasico should be. This is what it should mean coming into a game like this when the two of them are right there. Same points, same wins. Barca scoring more goals, conceding less, but of course at the end of the season it will be decided on head-to-head. That is why these games have even more importance, of course. And I think when you're looking at Barca, first of all, when you're looking at what it means for Xavi and his team, this really does feel already like a must-win game. And it is early to say in the season, but I think it is season-defining. I think it feels like a really big, significant moment here for Xavi, for confidence among the players, for confidence among us fans. We need to win here. We need to show that we're capable of winning a game like this, of arriving again on the big occasion. But I think it's interesting, the perception coming into this game, because when you're looking at the league results of Barca so far this season, we have been very impressive. We have looked really convincing for a lot of it. Some big scorelines, plenty of goals scored. I think the last two league games, they prompted questions. They have been unconvincing by the standards that we were setting earlier in the campaign. But it is interesting, like I say, about perception, because you look at Real Madrid, you look at their results in La Liga, they've conceded against every single team they faced, except Getafe. They have actually scraped through a lot of their games, really close matches there, and they've been unconvincing, but they don't seem to come under the same scrutiny as Barca do. Because if Real Madrid win a game in the league 1-0, they say, well done, job done, we've done what we needed to do, we've got the win, we've got the points, let's move on. If you win 1-0 in a Barca shirt, there's going to be questions. There's going to be scrutiny placed on your performance, and it's almost a crisis. I think one thing that certainly does play a part is all about the Champions League. You look at, of course, the Champions League campaigns this season. Real Madrid, they're the reigning champions, of course. That helps you. They've also had an easier group, courtesy, though, of winning the league last season, of course. And they have got their job done in their group. They're safely through to the knockout stages. Now, for Barca, it's not happened. We know we failed in our group. We've had a harder time. We've had difficult games, of course. They've had injury problems. But when it all comes down to it, we are likely to drop out of the Champions League. And that now has actually placed even more importance on La Liga. Now, ahead of this game, it's interesting because on Friday before training, Carlo Ancelotti reportedly told his team, Barca are dead right now. He said the only way that they can revive is by beating us on Sunday. We cannot let them win again. This is a final for us. And I think that's a very interesting quote there, because Ancelotti, I think, recognising that morale, that confidence will be lower right now for Barca after what happened in midweek, but I think he knows, and he's seen last season, that we can come up against Real Madrid, that we can beat them, that we can feel a certain confidence when we come up against Real, and he knows what a win would do. He knows how quickly things could change if Barca and Xavi here were to come and get a result, were to go 3 points clear at the top of the league. Suddenly then, it's a very different picture, and that is why a win would do so much. A win would be massive in this game. We need our big players. We need our match winners again to stand up. So let's talk Lewandowski. Because I have to say, guys, I thought he was incredibly unlucky against Inter. You know, the 2 goals that he came up with there towards the end of the game. The header that he scored, absolutely wonderful goal. And it almost, in the end, felt like we didn't even acknowledge those goals, that they weren't really given any importance. But they were big goals at big times. But unfortunately, the defence let him down. And I thought it was interesting earlier on this week when he was talking about the Ballon d'Or, when he was talking about Karim Benzema, because Lewandowski said, Benzema, he's probably the favourite to win the Ballon d'Or this year. But he did say, if they don't cancel it though, he was laughing, he was smiling. He said, if they don't cancel it, he will probably win it. But I think there's still hurt there. There is still certain pain that Lewandowski feels about that 2020 Ballon d'Or, which was, of course, controversially cancelled. He had his name on it. It was going to be his. And he feels robbed of that award. And even now, in a game here, directly up against Benzema, head-to-head against him, he wants to come out on top. He wants to show he's the best striker. He is the leading man. And you look so far this season, guys, he has been doing it. On an individual level in La Liga, 8 games, 9 goals. The Pichichi leader by a mile so far this season. He has been outshining Benzema. And even in the Champions League, like I say, it's not Lewandowski's fault that, you know, the team around him haven't quite stepped up in the matches. 4 games, 5 goals for him. Big ones against Inter that in the end, like I say, didn't count like they should have. And I am fascinated to see in his very first Clasico what Lewandowski can produce at the Bernabeu. And I think down the other end of the field, it's very intriguing because there would have been another key battle. It would have been Courtois against Ter Stegen, 2 potentially match-winning goalkeepers for their teams. But Courtois out. Ancelotti confirming today he will play no part in El Clasico, missing the game there through injury. And that's a huge advantage already to Barca here, to have our top stopper available. Ter Stegen this season has been imperious, especially in La Liga. 8 games, 7 clean sheets. He's had 20 shots on his goal, which he's kept out. And he has gone right now 624 minutes without conceding a La Liga goal. We've only conceded 1 in the league all season. And coming into this game, we know we will need him. And so indeed, guys, when we are starting now to look at those lineups, we spoke in detail yesterday about the tactics that we could see in this game, and now we're closer to kick-off. We've got an even better idea about how the 2 teams will be lining up. Like I say, for Real Madrid, it's going to be Lunin in goal. He will make his Clasico debut in this one. Pressure on the young goalkeeper. It's likely to be Ferland Mendy at left-back, and then at centre-back, you're looking at Rudiger. Is he going to be ready for this game? Suffered a big knock to the head against Shakhtar there as Real Madrid equalised late on in that game. If he plays, he's going to have to play with a mask on, and I think it's most likely going to be Alaba and Militao then at the centre of defence for Real, with most likely Carvajal at right back being preferred there to Lucas Vazquez. In midfield, Tchouaméni has had a very solid start and very promising signs so far in his Real Madrid career. He's going to be supporting there Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, who continue to play a key part in this fixture. And then up front for Carlo Ancelotti's side, Vinicius Jr. from the left-hand side. He's going to be Real Madrid's biggest threat and certainly somebody that we will have to look to stop, as we discussed yesterday. Benzema leading the line down the middle. And of course from the right-hand side, it's not going to be Rodrigo we expect, but instead Fede Valverde, who will of course also provide cover and support in that midfield area and more centrally. Now for Barca, things are a little bit more complicated, things are a little bit more uncertain coming into this game. What we do know though, like I say, is that Ter Stegen is going to be in goal. We fully expect Jules Koundé to return, and we expect him to return at centre-back there alongside Eric Garcia. That is going to be the duo for this game at the heart of our defence. Now in the full-back areas, things are very much uncertain and undecided. There are a few suggestions right now that instead of Roberto at right back, could we actually see Alejandro Balde there? Now, is that an attempt from Xavi to put Balde over to the right-hand side to match their Vinicius with that pace? But of course, he would be then on an unfamiliar side for him. We have seen it a few times in La Liga so far, but Balde at right-back would indeed be a risk. And I would like to see him, let's be honest, guys, I would like to see him on his favoured left side to see what he can do in a game like this. But if Balde was to be on the right, then it would very much be a choice on the left between Alonso and Jordi Alba, with Xavi so far clearly preferring to deploy Alonso in that area. In midfield, as we spoke about in the tactical preview, for me, Frenkie de Jong has to start this game. Now, if it's not at the base of midfield, which, like I said yesterday, he should be deployed in that area and give him the keys, give him the trust for this game. But I still feel like Xavi is going to play Busquets. That is just the way that we all feel, I think, right now. If he does that, Frenkie then must play as an interior, replacing Gavi alongside Pedri, which right now is the most likely trio in midfield. With then, for me, an unchanged front three in attack. Rafinha from the right-hand side, Robert Lewandowski down the middle, and Ousmane Dembele, scorer against Inter, playing off to the left. However, guys, I do just want to throw one potential lineup out there for you and one different kind of setup that I'm just thinking maybe, there's a feeling that maybe we could see this. And it's potentially there, Busquets in midfield with Frenkie and indeed with Pedri. And then part of me wonders in this game whether Xavi might do something completely different in our attack. Could we see Dembele from the right, no Rafinha, that's the way that Xavi seems to go so far, Lewandowski down the middle, and maybe Gavi off to the left-hand side. That's just something that I've been thinking about. I don't know why I have that feeling, but just putting that out there as something that Xavi might produce in this game. And if he did, how would you feel about that? Which then, of course, brings us on to the big match predictions. And that is what it is all about right now. Because what are we expecting in this game? A large percentage of you guys thinking Real Madrid are going to win this game, and not only win it, but win by 2+ goals. But there is also a large percentage that also believes Barca could do that, that also believes there that Barca are capable of winning this game comfortably. Even in the members' predictions, we got a win for Real Madrid. We got a draw in there as well, several 2-1 predictions, and plenty believing that Lewandowski is going to get on the score sheet. And I can relate to all of that, because in many ways, guys, I could perfectly well see Barca winning this game. And if we were to win, I could also see us winning it comfortably, because that's just what we do when we win in Clásicos. But at the same time, if we concede first, if we don't feel good in the game, if we have a setback, can we bounce back from that? Are we able right now to respond in a game like this? And if we can't, we will lose. And that is the reality of our situation right now. But I'm going to be hopeful. I am going to be positive, and I'm going to come here and say that we can beat Real Madrid, that we can win El Clasico, and I'm going to go big scoreline, Barca 3, Real Madrid 2. Expect goals, expect chances. It's going to be the taking of the chances that decides who wins. Who can be clinical? Who's going to come out on top? Can Lewandowski take the Clasico by storm? Please do let me know all of your predictions, all of your feelings, all of your emotion before El Clasico. And let's hope that at the end, this can be a game that we can celebrate. This can be a game that we can make our own. Let's perform. Let's come alive on the big stage. I will see you soon, guys, after the game, of course, with all of the reaction. Thank you for joining me through all of this build-up. Enjoy it! But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.